I the only one who always sees his camera a little bit skewed? It looks skewed to me. Okay, we'll do. Oh my goodness. Hi everybody. So welcome to Vlogtober 2022, day 16. And an aeroplane decided to take off while I am doing my intro. So welcome to Vlogtober day 16, and it is a Sunday. As you guys know, on a Sunday I do my face, I treat my face. In case you're wondering what's up with the camera quality, I have load shedding about an hour ago or something like that, and so all my camera batteries were flat. I don't know why I did not charge. I'm becoming this typical YouTuber that's supposed to have their batteries all charged up, but they start filming. I'm like, oh, my battery's about to die. And you wonder, but then why did you charge? That's me now. I understand how all that happens, because you are so busy with so many things, and even the smallest things you forget, like charging your camera battery. So anyways guys, so that is why the quality of the video is, I'm using my old cell phone, and it's not doing me justice, the one I want. The other phone is busy uploading. Actually, it's exporting. Let me just show you. This phone is busy exporting my true crime video. Now this video is going to come out probably at 7:30, because 51 minutes left to complete exporting. So in case you've been wondering what editing tool that I use, that I do all these with, it's this one. I know it's not written, but the name of it is VLLO. They don't have a watermark. It's a free version. There is a paid version and a free version, and I can tell you that this one, they give you almost everything that you would get on a paid editing tool from other editing tools, and you will still be satisfied with the amount of quality it carries for your videos and things like that. So if you've been wondering what editing tool I use VLLO or Vlo. I don't know how to pronounce. I think it's called Vlo, VLLO. You can download it from your Play Store. Yeah, or you play around. It's the most easiest editing tool, I think, to navigate. It's the easiest editing tool to navigate. It's like beginner friendly, it's user friendly, and of course, like I said, the free version is as good as the paid version, except that the paid version has more features like slow motion, zoom in, zoom out, and all that and all that other stuff you might want to use on your videos. The music that I use on my vlogs, they come from here, this very editing tool. All the music that you heard on my vlogs, they're on this app. VLLO is an editing tool. So that is what I use. So let me stop blabbing and let's get to doing my face. The first thing, of course, I have to do is remove my glasses. And of course, I almost stripped in front of y'all. Like, what is wrong with me? Give me a second, I'll be back. Okay, there we go, and now I'm ready. So today we are not going to be using a pill. Instead, I'm going to be using Garnier. So this is Garnier Skin Active Pure Active 3-in-1 Clay. It acts as a facial wash, a scrub, and a mask. It's a mud. Love this one. I've been using it since. And of course, the usual suspects to wash my face after of course, this can still act as this, but me, being me, I use this and then I wash my face with that, because this one has granules in them. Sometimes they are difficult to remove, so I would use this one to wash them off, if that makes any sense. And of course, I use the petroleum jelly from Johnson and Johnson, of course, to put under my eyes, as well as to moisturize my face at the end of all. So this one is not going to be too long, because I'm not going to, actually no, the clay does take longer than the peel. So while I do that, I'm gonna tell you a story time. Y'all want to be my business, but anyways, let me let you in my business. So actually not somebody, many people always ask me this question. You always say you're a recluse. You always say you're a recluse. What happened? What happened to you? What happened to you? Well, like with everything in life, there's a root cause to the person you are today. If you are a person that's easily triggered by things, it's because something happened in your past that triggers some few things that makes you go berserk. If you go berserk, I had an issue. I'm a Cancer. So if you know anything about us, that zodiac sign, if you don't believe in it, it's fine. Please don't get offended by what I'm saying. If it's not for you, then you don't have to listen to this portion of the video. So I am a Cancer. If you know anything about Cancers, we are super sensitive people. Super sensitive. I think we are known as crybabies. Many people will tell you Cancers are crybabies. Very true. Very, very true. The reason why we are crybabies is because we are lovers. We are nurturers. We hate seeing someone else experience pain or any kind of suffering, shortage, especially when we don't have any power to assist. We become extremely emotional. And at the same time, we also get emotional about acts of kindness. If you are a kind person and you show acts of kindness in any way, a drop of a hat, tears start flowing down our faces, just like that. Right on cue, they fall. But that is not the story time. So as a Cancer, some of us have very negative traits. One of the traits that we have is people pleasing. So when I was growing up, I felt a little bit different because number one, I was not going to the same schools as most of my friends. So I would try to minimize everything about me and try to be at everybody's level without anybody noticing that something is different about me and my academic background and things like that. So I belong to this church. I think I do have a video about this particular church. It was called the Johannesburg Church of Christ. So I came to Johannesburg from KZN when I was, I think I was like, okay, now I'm gonna give away my age. I think I was like 9 years old from KZN. If you remember, in the early 90s, KZN was still kind of like riddled with political violence, like black on black political violence. It was mostly between the ANC and the IFP, that type of thing. My family were one of the people that were targeted because of my grandparents' involvement in the ANC. And so we lived in a predominant IFP area, and they knew that we were Amakabane. And so that we were targeted. So intelligence came to my parents and said, hey, y'all gotta leave. So the first place that we fled to was Swaziland. So we lived in Swaziland for about 5 years. Yeah, we lived about 5 years in Swaziland while things, I think with the negotiations for the new South Africa and all that stuff was also taking place in Campton Park. I think it was Codessa. So my mom was pretty much involved in, like, she would volunteer in Campton Park while we were left in Swaziland to be safe. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, we were fled, my brother and I, because it's just the two of us at the time. My brother and I were fled to Swaziland, and we were left there by my mom to be raised by, not exactly raised, but to be looked after by this family. And so she came back to fight, if you want to put it that way. And so a lot of things that I felt as a kid in Swaziland. Number one, I was living in foreign land, speaking a language that sounded like mine, but it was different pronunciation, which at the end of the day, I ended up learning Siswati. That's what I'm trying to say. I ended up learning Siswati, and I was pretty much an ordinary kid there. And I kind of like enjoyed the whole rural living. At night it would be pitch dark because there would be no street lights. I come from a township that had street lights and electricity in the house, and we bathe with hot water, and suddenly now I'm eating food cooked on fire and things like that. So coming back to South Africa, this wasn't really South Africa people. Anyways, let me not get into politics. Coming back to South Africa, we came straight to Johannesburg. Instead of going back to Durban, we came to Johannesburg in 1993. This is December 23rd, 1993. We came to Johannesburg to live. Now, in Swaziland, I used to attend church, and I enjoyed singing. One of the things that I used to enjoy about church was singing. So when I got to Johannesburg, one of the things that I looked for was for a church that I was going to participate in. But for some reason, I did not have confidence. I had lost my confidence. I had lost my confidence in Swaziland, and I no longer had the ability to make new friends or speak to people. So I kind of like delayed becoming or looking for a church because I wasn't sure who to talk to. I was now in another foreign land where people spoke a different language other than isiZulu. And also, another thing that I was also very upset about was the fact that I was also pulled out of school and I needed to find a new school. So this is where my journey with Model C schools began, being the first generation kid who attended these so-called Model C schools. So now, if you know anything about Model C schools here in Johannesburg, they are a big deal. I don't know now. Back in the day, it mattered what school you went to. If you said I went to, people laughed at you. If you said I went to, people were like, ooh, that kind of thing. I don't know if that still happens to this day, but back in my day, it was a thing. So with me, I always received some kind of respect because I went to this boys' school, which was kind of annoying sometimes. And so I got to this church. I was invited to the church by a guy. I was just doing my mom had sent me to Checkers before it was ShopRite. It used to be called Checkers. So I'd gone to Checkers to buy some things to cook for dinner. And then I was approached by some guy. I still remember his name. I think his name was Gideon, who said, "Hey, you know what? I'd like to invite you to a Bible talk." That's where he invited me to. I was like, "A Bible talk? This is interesting. I've never heard of a concept like that." He's like, "Yeah, basically." I was like, "What do you guys do there? Just read the Bible?" He's like, "No. it's like a sermon, but it's a mini sermon and la 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 la. I was like, oh, I'm interested. When is it? He said, oh, it's tonight at 7 p.m. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is late. I don't think my mom is going to allow me to leave the house at night. And this is Joburg, it's dangerous. And at that time, we're living in Hillbrow. When Hillbrow used to be beautiful. When Hillbrow, oh, you guys, I wish you saw Hillbrow. I wish you saw downtown Johannesburg in the early 90s. Beautiful. Beautiful. But anyways, that was Hillbrow back in 1990, in the early 90s. Clean, beautiful. It still had white people roaming the streets, and your neighbor, sometimes you'll be sandwiched by white families in the apartment you lived in, which was our case. So then my mom fortunately said, oh, because you like church, you can go ahead and attend. They came fetch me. I had a great time. And then that's where basically my discipleship began. I enjoyed the Bible talk, and then immediately after the Bible talk, they said, oh, if you are interested, we can study the Bible with you towards you becoming a disciple. So I was interested because I was looking for a church anyways. So now this particular church, they studied the Bible and they were very intentional with the Bible. So intentional that now looking back, it was grooming in a sense that you were being, I don't know, being indicted into a cult, if you know what I mean. So there were things that you were allowed to do, not allowed to do, people that you were not allowed to hang out with, blah. Basically, the little confidence that I had was basically taken away by joining this particular church. But of course, you don't know that because you're, number one, you're still a kid. Number two, you think, okay, all of this is going to take me to heaven. I'm being a good boy, blah, blah, blah. And so the life I've known since I was 9-10 years old, all the way till I was 25 years old, was in that church. So a lot of things I did not know about. So because this is how they differentiated us. People that were part of the church, they were called people in the kingdom, and anybody outside of the kingdom, they were in the world, meaning the world where it's full of all these bad, evil, non-believers, people that are going to hell and other stuff, which never really sat well with me because I had my mom, I had my sisters, I had my brother who were not part and parcel of the kingdom, in as much as I've tried many a times before to invite them in, but of course there were individuals with their own interests, so I would not force anybody. So like I said, all my friends were inside the church. Everything that I know about life, I learned it inside the church. And so of course there are other things as well that I did not learn that probably people in the world ought to have learned from the age that I was in. So inside the church, of course, humility is a big thing. But with me, I took it a step further because I ended up becoming a doormat of many people. And I didn't think that I was a doormat. I didn't think that I was being a people pleaser. And yet I was giving things, but I was not receiving anything in return. So how I knew that I was not valued there was during Christmas times. So now during Christmas time, like around from the 16th of December all the way to Christmas Day, there would be like this exchange of Christmas gifts and cards. Back in the day, there used to be cards, Christmas cards. And so there would be like events that I held, like Christmas Carol nights, things like exchanging of Christmas gifts and things like that. So you as a disciple, you needed to give someone else who is a disciple a gift, a Christmas gift that you think made an impact in your life during the course of the year, meaning like a positive impact spiritually in your life, that sort of stuff. And so they were like, in a room, there will be about 200 people and they will be exchanging gifts. And then I'll also have my own gift and I'll give to someone else. And at the end of the night, everybody's like holding their gifts and going home, and they have like gifts in plastic bags and in their backpacks and stuff like that. And there, Clantis is going home empty-handed. And this would happen every single year. Now that I'm thinking about it, I realized that I was not memorable. People remembered me when they needed something out of me, but when it came to the things that are important, something small as a thank you, a small thing as, hey, would you like to hang out with me? Those are the things that I never got to enjoy there. And when I was outside of the church, it hit me that, oh my goodness, I'm now in the world. That means I will be forgotten as well out there, because nobody remembers me. The only time anybody remembers me is when they want something out of me. So as a result of that, I kind of like went into a cocoon and protected myself, because the older I became, the more sensitive I also became, and also more aware of many things that I had suppressed. I know that I knew this was happening, but for some reason I was telling myself, you need to be humble, you need to allow the process to happen and don't question anything. So that is why I would not question anything like, hey, where's my gift? I never asked. So and nobody would even ask me, hey, so what did you get for the Christmas gift exchange? And nobody ever asked. And instead, what I used to do to hide that I did not get gifts, I would ask other disciples if I could help them carry their gifts, so that everyone else would assume that I too got gifts, when in fact I walked away with absolutely nothing. Not even one of those Christmas gift exchanges I ever received a present. Not one. And then there have been 9 of those that had taken place in that church. So that, don't feel bad for me, don't feel sorry for me. Maybe I also need to look at myself and ask questions like, why would people forget you? Why would people remember you when it suits them, or when they are the ones that are in need? And when it comes to the smallest things, nobody seems to remember you. So I think that kind of scared me, that if I go out there and so as a result, I thought, let me not be a bother to nobody. And that's how I actually became a recluse. Even when I left the church, all the people that I thought were my friends turned their backs on me. And I really found myself totally naked, with absolutely no experience about anything, including sex. I think I did also drop the video that the first time I had sex, I had turned 30 years old. Yes, the first time I was 30 years old, because of the teachings of the church. It was against the teachings of the church to have it before marriage and things like that. So I know that I'm just running over this story time, but I just thought, hey, I think let me answer this question about being a recluse, where it comes from. So it comes from basically that there are still a lot of things that I'm still learning that I should have learned as a teenager, because I think now I understand why we have stages in life. Your early years in life, they basically prepare you for adult life. And when you're an adult, they prepare you for your 40s. And when you're 40s, they prepare you for your 60s. When you're 60, they also prepare you for your 80s. So there's always that decade that is going to be sleeping, because that decade, it is where you're supposed to be experiencing these things that you've been prepared for. At least that's how it made sense in my head. I could be wrong, But anyways, that is the story time, guys, about why I'm a recluse. And please do not come to me and say, oh my god, I feel bad, because I don't like that. Don't feel bad. I think it's now a choice because I do enjoy my own company. I am able staying out of trouble. Hey people, you know this, they never really got here before. The only time I fought was when I was doing sports, because I used to do taekwondo, I used to do karate, and I used to do all the other sports. I used to do summer sports and winter sports in high school, in primary school and high school. And the only time I experienced was those sports that I did. I also did boxing, but I can tell you something, I don't like boxing because the first time I had a fight, I came home with a blue eye, basically, and I was like, no, thank you. I took off my gloves and I told my coach, thank you very much. I don't think this one is for me. But yeah, so those are the sort of things that it's as though I was protected from making mistakes that were going to shape me and build me into whatever human being I would ought to have been. But I'm happy with the person that I am today, because I think even that journey itself was a learning curve for me, and it shaped the person that I am. I don't know where I'll be in life had I not been part of the church. I don't even know what was the reason behind it. Probably I'll be long dead. Maybe I would be in prison. Maybe, who knows? But somewhere, somehow, I feel like the church as well played and acted as a shield, because in the 90s in Johannesburg, it was happening. Things were hot for teenagers. There were a lot of peer pressure and influence that we needed to duck and dive. Crime was at a rampage. Is it rampage? Rampage? Yeah. Crime was just high. People that I used to know ended up being criminals. Some who were members of the church left the church and then they ended up criminals. Some got shot and killed and things like that. So I don't know what the reason was behind, but I am grateful that I did go through that journey, and I'm also grateful for the person I am today, and I'm proud of the person that I am today. So that is my story, and let me go wash this off my face and then come back and close the vlog when I moisturize my face. So I'm not gonna wash my face on camera. I'm just gonna wash it off camera. When I come back, then I tell you my closing remarks about my story time in the end. Okay, I'm back and I'm feeling a little refreshed on my face. Yeah, and my lips are dry. Okay, so now you know the drill. It is moisturizing time. As you know, guys, I use Vaseline only to moisturize my face. And there we go. Moisturized, just like that. So guys, I just want to close this vlog right now. My true crime YouTube video should be up by 7:30 if you are a subscriber there, the iron bars. And I decided to do the story to post the story that I was researching yesterday. I don't know, for some reason I feel compelled that I drop it before the other videos were supposed to have been live by now, since 11 a.m. But I've only done part 1. In fact, not even part 1. I did not how do I put this? When I was filming it last night, I realized, in fact, I finished my research at 3 in the morning, and then from there I quickly set up and then I filmed that true crime story. And funny enough, it took me 2.5 hours. I went to bed at 5:45 this morning. For some reason, I don't know why I was not feeling sleepy at all. I don't know what is it that my body took, and then the adrenaline was just pumping. I slept at 5:45 this morning and woke up at 9, and I needed to finish up then I started editing basically. And then as I was editing, I realized that it was 2 hours and 57 minutes long, that video. So what I did was I edited the 57 minutes. That is what's going up tonight. And then it's going to continue. And the next hour is what I'm going to be editing now, which is going to come out on Tuesday as part 2. And then the last hour is going to be posted next Sunday as part 3 of that story. That's how long this story is, because it's got so much information, so much events that were taking place. And then I was getting excited, and I just went into this rabbit hole with this one, and I got all this information and I wanted to share it. And of course, an almost 3-hour long video was not going to suffice on my channel, even though true crime community love very long true crime stories. But I thought, you know what, an hour long is enough. Other than that, I'll have to chop it up into parts. That is what I did with this one. So if you are into true crime, you can go to the iron bars right there, check it out, and see how we are made as human beings in this world. Made. I'm shiny, too shiny. So from here, while the true crime video is exporting and I'm concluding this vlog, I'm going to do my exercises. After my exercises, edit this vlog. Probably it's going to be out by midnight or little before midnight, not sure, we'll see. And from there, take a bath. After taking a bath, then I get to relax, of course, watch my true crime video that would be live by 9 p.m. this evening, maybe while I'm having my dinner. So yes, that is the plan this evening. It is now 10 to 6 p.m. and let me close this vlog because I have Cozy Girly. She's going live at 6:30 and I want to support her and be, oh my goodness, people. So as I said, if you're not dealing with the kids, you will deal with some man-child. Can you hear? This is an apartment building and you are blasting your music. Clearly, you have no respect for your neighbors. None whatsoever. That is what I meant being a man-child. If you do something like this, stop it. Just stop it. That's not being an adult. You're being a bully and stupid. Anyways, let me close this vlog right here. Once again, the editing tool that I use is VLLO Flow, and it has a free version. And when you use the free version, you still do not get the watermark on your videos. There's no watermark on the video. So if you are interested, you can check it out, try it out, and let me know. This video is not sponsored by VLLO, by the way. This portion of the video or vlog is not sponsored. YouTube, it's not sponsored. I'm just sharing the editing tool that I utilize for my videos. So Thank you all so much for watching and listening to my short story time answering your question about why you're a recluse. That is the reason. So clearly, it looks like every Sundays, while Vlogtober still persists, it's going to be me doing my face and telling you a story, because I've got tons of stories to tell. Tons of stories to tell, and personal stories, of course. Of course, I'm not going to divulge all the personal information. Some, of course, I have to keep to myself. Some, you will get to know about them. And yeah, thank you so very much. I'm blabbing now, and I need to go because we are now 98% exported. So I need to now, once it completes the exportation, then I have to optimize my video and then unlist it, upload it, and wait for the process of YouTube to check if there are any words or any copyright material that I used before they can clear me off and give me the green $sign. So once again, we're crossing fingers because there are some graphic words in there. Let's see what happens. Yo, it's tough being a true crimer. Oh my god, it's so tough. Yeah, anyways, thanks. I thought there was something I wanted to say, but I kind of forgot. If I remember, we'll see it in the next vlog. So happy Vlogtober 2022, day 16. Signing out. What? Thank you all so much for watching. Goodbye.